How's it going? I'm starting a minute and a half early, and you can see I'm flying solo. Let's see who we got. Lynn McCurdy wins the cookie tonight. And you said something about Grandpa John. I don't see John in here yet. I could be wrong. Wigwag, how are you? John Schoolco River, Dwight Curley, Thomas Moore. Who else we got in here? Trackside Mike, how you doing? Ray Bertelson. Let's see who else. Let's see who else. Jerry Sattarelli. How's it going, Jerry? I'm glad to see you up and around, man. Eagle Creek, how are you doing? And Jim Tedesco, how's it going, Jim? See who else we got in here. Joe Rader. Hey, Joe, how are you doing? Wigwag. Did I say hi to Wigwag? I can't remember. All right. So, Wigwag, are you HO scale? I'm gathering information here. Actually, I need to know Jim or Wigwag. I know Joe. Let's see. Ray Bertelson, what scale do you model? Thomas Moore, what scale do you model? And Eagle Creek, Steve, what do you model? Eagle Creek's in this. Ray Bertelson's HO. And Thomas Moore, I think you're HO as well, aren't you? Hey, Derek. Derek Alexander is in the house. Derek, are you HO scale? And Rail Artist, how are you doing? And Rail Artist, are you HO or in scale? Stu Structures is HO. How are you doing, Stu? Dedicated to HO. Glad to know that. I don't know if there's any S scalers around. Yeah, Jim, I know you're HO. There's a few of you I know for sure, like John Arthur. Hey, John, how's it going? Good to see you. Wow, look at this. Carolina foothills. So Carolina foothills, are you HO scale or N? Okay, whenever that was. You're quite welcome. Nathan, how's Nathan DeLay doing? Wigwag's had too many Craftsman kits to switch. I hope they're all built. So let's see. Carolina foothills. I just need to know what scale you are, and Thomas Moore's trains if you're doing any scale. I think. First readers. Yeah, I know. I need to go up to G scale if that's the case. Yeah. It's funny how much smaller HO scale is now than it used to be, isn't it? Why is that? Man, it's good to see everybody in here. 20 so far. 20. Well, Derek, Wilmer had something at his church tonight. I think they were doing their Thanksgiving service a day early. They usually do it on Wednesday, but they thought, since the ladies were preparing all the food on Wednesday evening. All right, Thomas, that it would be better to do it on Tuesday. So he's not with us tonight. Can you believe that? Well, Nathan, my layout's more for YouTube and for my pleasure. I doubt I'll ever be in a magazine. I don't I don't think any magazines. I've had a couple pictures of my layout published in Cowcatcher, if anybody gets Cowcatcher. But I don't think anybody will ever do a full spread on my layout. So you never know, Derek. You never know. Well, thank you, Nathan. I appreciate that. Yeah, Ray, I know. I don't even have to look at them. It doesn't matter if I break them or not. I can't see them. So. They're tiny, tiny, tiny. Yeah, that's right. There you go, Joe. So I know what size Christmas card to send you. So, you know, what I thought I would talk about tonight is, yeah, I just have an oil platform. I don't have an ice house platform. Mine are all oil loading facilities. What I thought I'd talk about tonight is mixing paint, because a lot of times we either can't find a bottle of the paint, or paint is so expensive. I mean, you can buy, a little bottle of Vallejo paint, and it's $5 or $6, $7, and it's tiny and it doesn't last at all. Especially if you buy the Model Air stuff, which is just thinned paint, is all it is. And if you want an alternative, I thought we'd look at an alternative of what you can do, because you can create your own paint no matter what color it is, and you don't have to worry about it. Now, you can do this with either enamels or acrylics, so it doesn't matter that as well. So what I'm going to do, yeah, that's true, John. The Amtrak. Would you have any locomotives somewhere to the Amtrak that you've seen in person? Do something similar. Well, I've never fixed an Amtrak locomotive. I've done some lifelike stuff for the Proto 2000s, Nathan. So let's see. All right, I'm going to switch my cameras. I thought I'd do this instead of making y'all dizzy. Do that. Now you can see me working here. So I'm going to show you. I've got two cars here, and one's a Penn Central, and this is Penn Central green, also kind of similar to the New York Central green color, because that's where they got it from. And I've got a Burlington Northern green boxcar. Hey, Tom, Split Rock, how are you? Good to see you. So what I wanted to do, is show you, if you want to start mixing your own paint colors, then you can do that. And you don't have to rely on a manufacturer. So, but I wanted to do two of a similar color so you can see what you can do to change it. Now, all I have, and I said in the title, or in the description, the title, you only need 5 bottles of paint. In your entire stock, this is all you need right here is red, yellow, blue, white, and black. That's all you need. You can make any color you want to from those 5 bottles of paints. So, and what I'm going to do is I printed this off the internet. Everybody's seen a color wheel, if you remember from grade school, probably. And I put a P in the primary colors and an S in the secondary ones. So the three basic colors I have here, these are the primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. That's all you need. The black and white is to lighten and darken. So the reason I wanted the secondary colors on here is because it's easier to show you how to dull paints. Okay? So the way you dull a paint is to use the color opposite on the color wheel. Okay? So if you want to dull yellow, use purple. If you want to dull green, use red. And if you get to an even mix, it'll be brown. So that's what happens. But if you want to dull the blue, then go with orange. So that's how you make colors dull, and then you can lighten and darken based on the black and white. So you can either draw a little color wheel like this or print one off of the internet. There's tons of them. As you can see, I probably got mine from a British website because there's a U in color. All right. Okay, Nathan. Good. Yeah, swapping shells on frames is great. All right, so we're going to start out. We're going to mix 2 colors. We're going to mix Penn Central green and Burlington green and see how they come out. And what I always have also is a white card to mix on, so that way you can get a true color. One thing I didn't do, which was silly of me, is I didn't bring out my paintbrushes. Hold on a second. Now for thinner, I just have a jug of acrylic thinner that I mixed up, and it's just water, denatured alcohol with a couple drops of dish liquid in it. So, but that'll thin it if I need to. So let's, of course, we look on our color wheel. We got to get the first step you want to do is make a basic color, because we know both of these are going to be green. So to get green, yellow, and blue, you remember that. So I'm gonna come down here in the big tray, and I'm gonna mix about even parts of yellow and blue. And see where we go from there. And the colors I got were these are just cheapy paints. You can get cheap paints. You don't need expensive paints. We can, I'll show you how to make them into expensive paints. So I got these from Hobby Lobby. You can get the ones at Walmart or Michael's, anywhere. So this one's called True Blue. This one's called Primary Red, and then this is cadmium yellow. So So what I'm going to do is, let me get one of my paint brushes out here. And first I'm just going to mix the two together to get that, just the basic green color. And there are so many, just try to get the truest three primary colors that you can. These were the three truest I could find in this brand. So and I'm just going to sit here until they're mixed. Takes a minute. And the more paint you put in there, the longer it's going to take to stir it up. So well, you can. I'm making the green from scratch because just as an example. You know, this is like I said. What's going to happen is you want to get the truest colors you can. So you can see I probably put more blue in here than I did. Always have paper towels standing by. Probably got more blue in here than I do green. If you can, let me move the paint bottles out of the way. But I want to start with that base color. And that makes a nice green. All right, so you see, now let's try to match the Penn Central green first. Wow. So because what I think is I got more blue in there than I needed to. And sometimes some colors will overwhelm colors, so you might not do a true one-to-one mix. And I might have just dumped too much yellow in that. But a lot of this is just done by eye, and that's the best way to do it. Mix, mix, mix. Actually, to my eye, this is really closer to Penn Central green than the. But I'm going to trust the people at Tangent. I think this is a Tangent. It might be an Exact Rail car. I'm not sure. Maybe it's an Exact Rail. It was just a little dark to me for Penn Central green, but so you can see now. If I'm going to hold this up just on the brush, you can see that it's not exactly the same color, right? So what we want to do is, first of all, this looks a little darker to my eye, and this looks a little bluer. So I'm going to add a little more yellow in. Not much. At this point, we're just fine tuning now. But like I said, it's sometimes if you don't get the exact true red, yellow, and blue, you're gonna spend a lot of extra time trying to match. So there. Now remember, when you put more yellow in it, it's gonna lighten it up some too. Not only is it gonna make it a truer green, but it'll lighten it up as well. All right. So, not the same, but it's getting closer. So I think what I'm going to try to do is darken this up a little bit. Heath, how's it going? Good to see you. Yeah, John, you can airbrush these paints. You do want to thin them, of course, but you also want to put a little flow improver in them. And you not only want to put flow improver, but you want to add some. I can't think of the name of the stuff. Give me a minute. It's the stuff you buy at the drugstore. It's real cheap. I'll think of it in a minute. I know he models in scale then. Yeah, you're trying to. I know what you're trying to do. Yeah, it just made it a little dark. Maybe that's too dark. Yeah. Maybe that's too dark. Maybe I put too much black in it. But I can always lighten it up. And one thing you can do if you want to mix colors too is if you're going with these kind of paints, you can get the secondary colors as well. But this is so cheap. I mean, you'll probably go years without replacing a bottle of paint. Sometimes it just takes there we go. See, that's too dark now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little blue and a little white. Bring it back a little bit more with the blue. Yikes. Hopefully that's not too much. And if I fail at this tonight, then you can laugh and laugh and laugh. Because I didn't think I would be using this much paint. because I might just have the wrong colors here to start with. I got the colors that I thought would be the right ones, and they might just be the wrong ones to start with. Because, like I said, you have to get true colors to do this. You have to get true red, yellow, and blue. So you see, I went overboard with the blue, I think. Which, when you go overboard, you just bring it back with yellow. That's all you have to do. I usually have a lot more. Boy, I have made a mess, is all I've done. Oh, I got paint all over my hands. I did accomplish that. Bring it back to the yellow. So sometimes you make mistakes. Sometimes you just make mistakes. There we go. All right, that's closer to what I wanted. So that's getting close. Actually, this is getting closer to the Burlington color. If you see that. Yep. Nope. Doesn't look that way on camera, does it? You can see the Burlington green has a lot more yellow in it than the Penn Central green. And as you lighten these, they're going to change too. And I might just be making a mess tonight instead of doing anything constructive. See, to my eye, I don't know about y'all, that's too green. That's too dark for Penn Central. What do you think? Anybody else voting? Hey, model train aficionado. Oh, I'm not going to paint it. I'm just using it for comparison. That's all I'm doing is I'm using it for comparison. I'm not painting it. Yeah, I'm not taking a $40 car and painting it with craft paint. So yeah. That's true. When you weather it, the colors are going to soften up anyway. So um, what I'm trying to do is get as close as I can, just kind of as a show people you can kind of mix your own stuff. You don't have to go with the expensive Vallejo stuff. I mean, that that stuff will break you if you buy enough of it. It's just too expensive. So you can see that this is not working out the way I wanted. And it's probably because of what I started with, uh, rather than starting with what I needed to. I just chose the wrong colors. That's all there is to it. Because that's why I say, this was, you've got to, um, you've got to start with pure red, yellow, and blue. Yeah, and you're right. I'm adding a lot all at once, which is coming out too fast, and that's my problem. But I'm not starting with the right colors either. And I'll show you why. Let me get a couple other things of acrylic paint that I have, and I'll show you the difference. I've got these that I usually use with my backdrop. Let me do some smaller amounts here. Because I think these colors are a little truer. And I think they'll mix better. Yeah, see, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to come up with. Yeah, it's so important that you start with the right colors. See, this is what I was starting. This is what I wanted to start with. Okay, so if you look at this now and start to compare it, it looks about the same. So what would happen at this point is now you can see this is a little bit lighter. I'm going to lighten this a little bit. In any kind of acrylic paint, you can mix and match. That's the good thing. Most of them are fairly compatible. I'm just going to dip it in there and then lighten this up. Oh yeah, that's, see, that's getting to where I want it. See, this is starting with something that's a little closer to pure primary colors. And if you look at it now, you see how it's getting closer. It just needs to be, once again, it just needs to be lightened up a little bit more. That's more than enough. There we go. Closer and closer, because I started with something. I started with something better. So now when you get closer, you can start to say, oh, there's too much blue, there's too much yellow. And so I can say in here, there's probably a little too much blue. So I'm just going to drop just the tiniest bit of yellow in it. And start coming up with a closer color. Yeah, that's getting much closer. For a long time, Heath. Yeah, see, it's just getting closer and closer. And you gotta kind of judge whether you want to go lighter or darker. But the yellow is going to lighten it some. So you want to get it as close as you can with just the blue and the yellow. And then go to the white or black to lighten or darken. So I think, yeah, see, it's still a little blue to me. But see, you can do this if you just have a little patience. That's the thing about it. And sometimes you might need to touch up a car or a locomotive. And when you do that, you can make your own paint to match the factory paint just perfectly. Well, Otter Creek, I'm more just doing this as a demonstration, just to let people know that you don't have to spend a lot of money on um, on different brands of paint and different colors. Yeah, see, I might just go a little bit lighter now. Let's see what comes up. This is just or sometimes you can use this to patch a freight car. You wanna look at a freight car and patch it, and you'll notice a lot of the railroads, they use their same color, but the color wasn't the exact same shade, but it was close. So that's another thing you can do with this. You can see, look at how close that is almost. It's almost perfect. Just another tiny drop of white in it. And that's getting there. I think a little yellow now. I can see now that it's light enough that, hey, it was just not quite yellow enough. It was just a little too blue. See, it's still, see, when you look at it, it's still too blue, right? But now that it's the shades getting closer, we can And you just go back and forth till you do this. That's all there is to it. Yeah, that's true. Once you weather it and fade it, whether it's exact isn't going to make a difference. But it's like I said, it's good too for patching. Um, just maybe a little more yellow. And there's some guys that can do it a lot faster than me, believe me. But I'm just giving you an alternative. An alternative to spending $7 or $8 on a bottle of paint when you don't need to. So you look at that. I mean, that's getting so close. I think it's just almost needs to be a little bit lighter because all 5 bottles of paint here are was the same price as 1 bottle of Vallejo paint. So too blue or too yellow? And one thing good you might want to do is test it on a piece of white plastic. So because some paint dries darker or dries lighter than it is when it's wet. So when you get real close, you want to paint a piece of plastic like this, and then take either your heat gun or an air dryer. Let me see if I can plug in my heat gun here without looking. And air dry it. And I'm just drying it in my heat gun here. And you can see that that dried just a little bit darker. So now I know I need to lighten it up some. Yeah, don't take a wet color of paint and think it matches because it'll never match once it's dry. Now I'm going to dry this again. Look, I mean that's almost dead on. So that's all you need to do. And if I want to change this now, this Burlington, what's the difference? It's more yellow. As you can see, you compare it. This is a lot more yellow than this. So you would just add a bunch more yellow into the paint, and you can now get your Burlington color, which I think it's going to be a little bit lighter too. And I'm going to put the yellow in a separate compartment so I can mix in what I need without going overboard. See, as I go more and more towards the yellow, then I will get to that Burlington color. And sometimes you might need to go colors you don't think, oranges, yellow, red. You might want to add red. Yeah, I'm going to add a lot more yellow in here. There we go. Yeah, see, look at that. See how much closer that's getting to that now? And this is just, it's all just done by eye. You can do this just so easily. Now let me show you a couple things because we're running out of time here. This is just one more quick thing. So that's almost, see, that's almost an exact match just there. I think that's just a little more dull. So what I would just do is add a tiny drop of red into it, and that'll dull it down. So I'm going to put my red over here. Whoa, that came out way too fast. But it's good. So I'm just going to come here and just add a little red into it. And that red's going to dull down the color a little bit. You can make every color just doing this. See, look at that. Any color you want just by sitting here and experimenting a little bit. Now, see how close that is? See, that's all you need to do. I'm going to put some of this on my board. I'm going to need a little more yellow in it. I'm going to paint it and dry it. And it's real close. Look at that. So sorry it took so long to start out. I'll have to get some better colors. But anyway, that's just some color mixing tips. You can make, like I said, if you just do equal parts of green and red, you're going to end up with, let me show you over here. I'm going to put some of that green and some more red in it. I'm going to end up with a brown color. See, look at that. See, now I've got brown. Almost a rust color. If I put more yellow in it, I'll have some a rusty color. So there's a there you go. So anyway, that's it. Experimenting with colors. Oh, let's see. Now, yep, Corey, that's right. That's all they use. There's only 3 pigments when they use it. Depends on their base, things like that. So, and that's another thing. If you paint this over white or gray or black primer or red primer, you're going to get a little bit different tones in there. So just remember that when you're doing this kind of stuff. Now, just one more quick thing. John was asking about um, using this kind of stuff in your airbrush. So here's what you want to do. And I got this tip from, if you go and watch Martin Welberg, he's got some good stuff. Um, one thing you want to do is you want to take this, and I'm just going to mix up some paint here. I made a flow mix, and this is the first half of what he was talking about. Sorry. So what this is, it's flow medium, and you can get some Floetrol, which is a quart can, and it'll last you the rest of your life. As you can see, I mixed this up and how much this flow medium. What I use 10% the flow medium and 90% water. So if I mix, if I want to mix up some paint, I'm going to use this flow medium, and then I'm going to dump paint in here. We gotta dump the whole bottle in there because I can go buy 99-cent bottles of paint all day long, but I don't like spending $7 on a bottle of paint when that's not necessary. What did I do with the top now? So it's good if you don't lose the top to your bottle. Right? I'm gonna mix this up. Now, if you find that, let's pour this out, and I want to tell you if it's thin enough. It might be a little too thin. Yep, that's about perfect for an airbrush right there. That's all you need. And if you need a little thinner, you can use your homemade thinner that I made up. Like I said, this is just water, denatured alcohol with a couple drops of dish soap in it. And then if you use this flow improver in here will really help it in an airbrush. Yeah, that's almost perfect. So you just have to kind of gauge, you know. Now, when you're making a wash, let's say you want to make a black wash, and once again, I got this from Martin Welberg. Take the, you can make your own washes. Take this flow improver mixture, put about 40% of it in there. Take some matte medium. I just got matte medium here. And you want to put about an equal amount of matte medium. I guess I should open it first. That would help. This is a great wash for if you want an acrylic wash, this is the way to do it. You take that flow improver, about an equal amount of matte medium. and then take your color. I'm going to use black. Let's see if we want a black wash. And we'll just open the cap up here. You guys hang with me. You want to hang around. Sorry, I'm taking longer than I thought. All right. So I'm just going to dump now a few drops. And you can use acrylic inks or you can use this cheap paint. Whatever you want. And now I've got a nice wash here. Look at this. You've got a perfect wash. Just by using this flow improver, which will last you for a long, long, long time, and some matte medium in there. And the good thing about this is when you use the matte medium with the washes, the pigments don't break apart. You don't get those little dots like you normally would. So you can see that does a lot better job than just straight, water. So anyway, there's just a quick tip. You can go over and watch Martin Welberg's video on, I think he called it Brew Your Wash. And it's a good little tip on making some washes. So. All right, last order of business. I didn't get everybody. George's Sunbelt. So Flow Improver is, you can see it's called Flow Medium. I got this at Hobby Lobby. It's just Master's Touch. You can get some stuff called Floetrol at like Ace Hardware or whatever. And that's in a quart jar, and that stuff will last you for 10 years at least. Nope. You put the matte medium in there with your wash, and you'll be happy. And like I said, go watch Martin Welberg's video on that. He did a couple years ago. So. Yeah, I think trying to use a spray bottle to airbrush it's not fine. You don't get a fine enough mist. So. All right, let's see. Heath wants to see the paint dry. Who? Dave BNSF. Who else in here is in scale? I know Dave BNSF is, because it's in his name. And I know Heath and Eagle Creek and Jerry. Who else in here is in scale? Anybody? Anybody? Yeah, there's a constant flow in an airbrush, plus it's much finer. It's a finer mist, so. So Jerry, you're HO now? Wow. So you came over. Huh? You're not in the dark side anymore. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Jerry. Let's see, Otter Creek. Otter Creek? What are you? Are you HO or N? Thanks, Derek. And let's see, did I get Mike? Did I get yours? Deep Run Railroad Mike. Are you HO or N? I might have got yours already. Hmm. Let's see. Otter is HO. Okay. And Corey. What Corey, you're HO, right? So um how many, just a vote, how many N scale guys do we have in here? Do we only have three in here? Eagle Creek, Heath, and Dave BNSF. Is that correct? Hey, there's Rodney. How you doing, Rodney? Good to see you. Yeah, Nathan, I got yours. I knew Nathan. Nathan, I knew you were HO. So Eagle Creek, right? Eagle Creek, Heath. Heath is still in here, right? So what you want to do, Ray, is you can buy little bottles like this, and just when you get the right color, just dump it in the bottle. Add some thinner and some flow improver, just a little bit. You just need a little bit of flow improver, not much at all. Like I said, my mix here is 90% water and 10% flow improver. So you don't need a lot of it. And I just add that mix in with the paint. So the flow improvers are surfactant anyway. It'll smooth out the paint. So oh, Heath has gone live. Okay. So that's it. Now there's only two people in here, Dave BNSF and Eagle Creek, that are in scale. Wow. Okay. All right, guys. Are both Dave BNSF still in here in Eagle Creek? Are they both in here? Yeah, I know Eagle Creek is. Yep. So they're both in here. Okay. So the first thing we're gonna do. The HOs have it. Yeah. All right, the first thing we're going to do, see my hat? Let me go. Let me switch my camera back so you can see me. I like you really want to see me. See, here's my hat with 2 names in it. 2 names. You have to be present to win. So that's it. All right. I'm sorry to one of you. Eagle Creek. There you go. Send me your name at flyingcrow@yahoo.com. Send me your name and address, Eagle Creek. Sorry, Dave. Eagle Creek is the winner for the N-Scale prize. What is the N-Scale prize? Here is the N-Scale prize, and I'm using a paper towel so I don't get paint all over it. There you go. This is a Microtrains KCS boxcar. There you go. Send me your name and address, and I will get this off to you. All right, HO scale guys. I got everybody in here. Don't worry. You're quite welcome. Yeah, John says your prize is an HO train set. All right, I got all the HO guys in here, which is more than enough. And if I call a name and they're not in here anymore, they don't win. So you have to be present to win. That's the that's the rules. All right, I have one name. Ray Bertelson. Ray Bertelson, you have won the HO scale prize. And you will get this 40-foot Walthers mainline Kansas City Southern boxcar. That's your prize, Ray. So send me your name and address, and I will ship this off to you. And these are brand new, so they've never been out of the box. Neither prize. So, yeah, I had your name in there, Anthony. Don't worry, I had everybody's name in there. I already knew what scale you modeled. So. Yeah. So flyingcrow@yahoo.com. Just send me your addresses, and that's. I just wanted to do a little drawing, and I didn't announce it on purpose because I wanted the people who usually come in here to be eligible. So I wanted to do a little drawing to say thanks for Thanksgiving. Yeah. So and thanks for supporting the channel. So I just appreciate it. So I hope y'all found something useful tonight in everything. See you, Dave. I just hopefully it just saves you a little money to and try and you can try something new and not make a mess. Look at me, I make a mess. If I get anywhere near paint, I'm gonna make a mess. Uh, and there's David, Crooked River and Eastern. Thanks, Ken. I appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving and God blesses you and your family. This is just, and everybody gets to spend it with family. If not, we'll be thinking about you if you don't have a family. The community, the railroad community will be thinking about you. So, um, I do appreciate everybody watching. I really do. So, and Dave at Crooked River, I'm sorry you missed all the fun. You get to watch paint dry. So y'all take it easy and have a great week, and we'll see you in a month. Remember, next week it's Dave at Crooked River and Eastern on Tuesday. So, and don't forget all the other live streams. Drop in and say hi to everybody. So take it easy, and we will see you later.